Well, that was an event. What up, everyone? What up, Copper family? Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for being patient with us. We were, 3 minutes late, but it was on me. It wasn't on. Steve over there. It's totally my fault. Here, I'll display your name so everyone can see it. Just so everyone's clear, I first life of me could not hear him, and I had to adjust my settings. So it is what it is.
I want to make sure I'm not echoey or anything. Sounding okay over there?
You sound perfect to me.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, shucks. So dumb. Anyway, so what I always do is like to say hi to everyone, and from there, then I really just want to talk. It's been a while. It's been since like the Copper Lodge, or not. It's been since the Copper Retreat that we've really had a conversation.
I was looking at pictures, and I actually made a decision tonight as I was looking at pictures out west that it was time to try to cut the angle back, and I did it tonight, and I think I'm back, baby.
Ah, you're there. See, I want to talk about that.
From when I walked out of your life to when I walked back in.
Dude, I don't know if you can see my glasses. It's driving me crazy. I have to keep popping these up because I accidentally fell asleep with them the other day.
Oh.
I was reading
that thing from the jerk. Remember the little nose?
Yeah, right.
Right.
So I got to go get some new glasses. But anyway, what's up, E? How you doing, buddy? I hope you're doing well. And then we got Michael. Michael has a great show coming up right after us on the Beard of Respect, and so everyone go jump on him. I have Polly's oil, butter, and mustache wax and beard today. Awesome, thanks, man. You should be getting Sundance. I'm telling you. By the way, the solid clones epic, the mustache wax. Now we have the samples, so we should be good to go there too.
Sundance is amazing. I did some of my bottles at church this weekend. It was really fun.
Oh, that's cool. I told you that your Sundance actually went, and it was in Metropolitan Fashion Week. That's all 150 swag bags. That's what they had.
That's what you did with Sundance in there?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, it's an epic. It's a very classy upscale fragrance. I really like it.
Oh yeah.
And it's not strong.
It's really cool to be a part of it. I don't know how I rated, but I'll take it.
Yeah, right. Then we got Logan. Logan is one of the best guys here locally. He's the one who shaved his beard.
Logan hung out with us at when we were.
Yeah, he was sitting right next to you. He was the one who heard the Snuggle Muffin comment.
So tell me about he shaved.
He did shave.
What's up with that?
He had an idea. So his wife asked him, they're going to Disneyland, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, but he's going to Disneyland here in the next week or two. I thought it was October. It might be November, but he got his wife wanted him to trim his beard, not cut it off, but trim his beard so that it would be ready. So it's some little shorter, a little more manageable for the family pictures. And then he called me and was like, hey, what if I just cut it all off and we just did this? I'm like, well, the mayor just did that. It's a really good idea, but but you can have your own take on it and all that kind of stuff. And so he did it. And dude, when he cut it off, I was laughing so hard just because it was like, dude, this is not you. It was so funny to me.
It is a humbling moment.
Dude, I don't want to see what I look like without a beard.
No, it's not good. It does so much for most guys. I think it does so much for them that it's just not worth it.
Yeah, right. But I don't know what it is, but your beard, I mean, it makes you look really good.
Thank you, Tyson. No, yeah. I think it's like I have like a weak chin, and it helps kind of balance the chin and bring that, for being real, like balance the face better, I think.
Yeah. Jason goes, so you're a little rusty? I'm starting dude, it's been a while since I've done one of these. But what's up, everyone? Hey, Ellie. Hey, Billy. Hey, Jason. Jeff's one of my favorite guys. He was there for our soft opening when we did the barbershop. So appreciate you guys all. All we have left is a sign. It should be up by Thursday. Then our grand opening is the 21st on Friday. We have the radio station coming in. We have Salt City Barbecue, which they're like #1 rated barbecue in the state of Utah, and they're bringing their ribs and stuff like that. We're doing giveaways. We're doing all our barbers. We'll have 8 barbers by then. We have 6 right now, and they are really, really perfectly. I wouldn't say perfectly. No one's perfect, but they are trained on beards. And then, I'm going to have you guys train them during our next trip and all that kind of stuff. And so we're going to do a lot of training, and They give 15-minute scalp massages, even on a haircut, no matter what. And it's just like I want it to be an experience for everyone.
Can you have all 8 do this scalp massage at the same time? Is that like that the grand finale or whatever you call that?
That is where everyone has to be completed at the same time so they get their scalp massage.
Well, no, not with other people. All of them on one scalp. I was thinking, but I don't work there. So
oh, dude, that'd be epic. I'd be like, yeah, I'll pay extra for that.
That would be a big tip, I think.
Right? No, then yeah, then we have one that has like a face massage and a hand massage and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted us guys like to be pampered every now and then. So I felt like, hey, let's just include it into the services at no charge.
And they can skip it if they're in a rush, but they don't have to.
Right? Exactly. 100%.
That's the nice thing. I like that. Sometimes you're in the mood, sometimes you're not.
Yep. Yeah, and it's a free part of the service. I mean, you can get the cut no matter what, but if you want that, it's free. So
I feel like if you get the massage, though, the tip goes up. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah. If someone was massaging me, I'd be like, that was a lot of work. I'll do it. And especially for 15 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, like, how are you gonna give them hand rest like that between cutting and massaging? What are you gonna have left?
Yeah, we got some good barbers. We have a lady from who just moved here from Houston, and she is she taught straight razor at school for 20 years, and she's been trimming and cutting for 30, and she's really, really good. Our manager's amazing. We got some really good people.
I never thought I would hang out with barbers so much, but it's started happening. We've been going to the barber expos and things like that, and it's a whole world.
Dude, it's a fun culture. I like it.
They like my hair. They usually want to. They like when they do like competitions. They want to they asked me to go do the thing, and I did not do the thing. I passed.
Yeah, mine.
A fade competition. Not that I didn't trust them. It's just I didn't want. Yeah.
I don't have that hair. I used to have that hair. I don't anymore. You and I are the same age, though. I found out.
We are.
So
you're 43.
I'll be 43 in November. So,
so you're younger than me. We're not the same age.
Just a little bit.
My wife just had her birthday last weekend.
Oh, nice.
Her birthdays are typically like the whole weekend. Like it's an event where people come and go and pay favors, and yeah, we go out to eat all over the town. And
good for her, though.
It's good though. She deserves it.
So my birthday is November 6th, and our anniversary is November 8th. And so usually it's just all inclusive, one big party and that type of thing. So it'll be 20 years this month, this year. So we're going to do something special, I think.
That's a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
It's never an easy thing, is it? Marriage.
It's a lot. It's something I would never expect. Like there was so much more work than you actually think, but you love him to death. She loves you. It's so much fun, but there is a lot of work and compromise, and
you find you go through so many stages in a marriage. Like you have, it's like a cycle. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's true. So, hey Matt, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming, and Miss Bruce City, appreciate you. Now those two are getting married. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah,
congratulations.
They're engaged now.
I think maybe I don't know.
No, they weren't engaged. They weren't engaged at the time of the retreat.
Okay.
So this is just more recent than anything. What's up, man? Love this guy. And Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Hi, Chris. Chris is like my first non-Dan live stream I ever did.
Really?
I was in like the back shed at our farm in Pennsylvania. I like felt like not having a studio or a spot that's quiet is a big deal, trying to I'm very, very distracted by sound and stuff. So if I'm going to pay attention to what you're saying, I need a quiet space. So I was overly weird about it back then, but I remember doing that. It was crazy. It was like 3 years ago or 3.5 now.
Yeah. Logan, it's called Snuggle Muffin. He's like, I can't remember what the waitress called him. Snuggle Muffin. You can't forget. Right. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everyone. So why don't we get started? Because we only have an hour. You have you're always busy creating content and being with your family and stuff. So for those who don't know you, because there are some people who don't know who you are, because they follow us, but not necessarily Dancy and the Mayor. Why don't you tell them who you are, where they can find you, all that kind of stuff?
Hi, guys. My name is Steve. I have a nickname of the Mayor on Dancy Bearded channel. If you haven't heard of that, it is like 1,000 growing videos on just beard care. Dan and I became friends playing Pokemon Go as teachers, middle school for years. And so we built this
That's how you guys
friendship,
met.
and Dan kind of stepped away to do the beard stuff. And after about a year, I tried to follow him and get involved. Having never had grown a beard, I said, let me try this summer. We'll talk about it. Got used to doing live streams. That led to kind of doing the content for a Facebook group that we have, and then we market it, Command's Corner, which has been great. A nice, really cool community on Facebook. That led to our beard advice show, which is kind of what our big staple. Dan and I sit together in the studio, and we do that Wednesday nights. Guys send in, they send in, or they have questions, and it's just an easy hour and a half of beard talk and helping people out. And we've been doing that Wednesday night show for like 3 years now.
I can't believe how long that's been. It's so much. It's grown into what it is now, and it'll continue to grow and evolve. But it's pretty cool.
Yeah, lately we've been doing a lot more hit questions than send-ins. We have guys that send in, but I feel like that happened more in the beginning, and now it's like we'll have a handful of questions, and then we have and it kind of tapers off. Like the beard season is big. Like as guys start starting their no shade November beards, their hunting beards, their play out, whatever. You get a new like group of energy, some old guys, some new guys, but that show usually kind of refuels itself. Lately though, it's been more about questions on the fly with Dan. Just listening to that dude has been a crazy education.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that in just a second, but you seriously, I met you for the first time in July. You flew in here. We got to I heard your guys' driver was amazing and just drove perfectly for you guys.
You have so many wonderful qualities. You are all wonderful qualities, Tyson. Your driving I loved what it did to Jay Cruz. I thought that was hilarious how cool he tried to be and how upset in his heart he really was.
Oh, dude. But you got home and you shaved your beard and stunned all of us. Like completely just shocked us. So why'd you do
think
that?
of that? So okay, yeah, sorry. You get to ask the questions. I know.
No. This is we can communicate, so it's totally fine.
Okay, so you had just met me.
Literally, yeah.
3 days later, a video pops up and I have no beard. What were you surprised? Like, did you believe it? I don't know.
No, dude, I'm like this. I'm like, wait, what? This isn't you at all.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I'm like, it didn't even look like you, didn't do anything like that. What's up, man?
That video had like 5,000 views like in a few days. And it's pretty much topped off, but it was shocking. I think some of my old students were shocked. There was this craziness, but
so why'd you do it?
Why did I do it?
Yeah.
Well, it's really good. Several reasons. I got paid for it from Aberlight. We did a little of per video pay. We need content about the growth and visualizing and being able to see a dude who doesn't look great kind of going through it but talking about it confidently.
Doesn't look great.
What's that? Well, it is like, you don't, guys, it's a hit, beard guys, to take it off and still get on camera. Like I did a couple of videos and reels in that moment, and like it was crazy. Hello. Anyways, so I did it because I thought it was like I could add something. I thought I had a new kind of energy to bring to it. I thought it'd be valuable for guys building the community, building the market, and valuable for guys who like never get over some of those early turning points and those early hurdles, just to have me talk about it. So also huge, very humbling like moment. I've experienced a lot of success with this whole thing, like the beard thing, getting to know Dan, confidence building, getting better on camera, working on it live on Sundays. That's so tough. The live, I'm having fun. Like I'm really starting to
your evolution of how comfortable you are on screen and also how you produce it is like night and day from the beginning. It is so cool to see.
you guys have been here the whole time for me, and it's all been within the beard community. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like everything I like to try, but I don't know. Well,
So
I
what
think
would you say what's like the most thing that you learned from regrowing it from the original time to now? Like what would be the biggest thing that you've learned?
um I think it's it's kind of weird, but subtlety of like how like proportions and things like that. As a guy, we just use a ton of stuff or none of it. And like you can overuse oil, you can overuse conditioner, you can overuse heat. So subtly and not doing too much or too little when you're doing all those things to get the best result. Like you learn that over time when you like first have your beard, like over oil it, it feels weird. Trim it weird, it looks weird. Over condition it too much and it doesn't, you can't feel the oil, it doesn't feel like the way you like it. Same
Hmm.
for your hair. So technique, I think technique in like what gets the best result, if that makes sense.
It does. So week 2, you had a video. Again, this is found on Dancy Bearded's channel. Does it have its own section or is it just a
It's a
video?
playlist on there.
Okay, what playlist? Just Mare's Journey.
Grow your beard or something, how to grow a beard, something like that.
Okay. So week 2, you could tell you were struggling. You were talking about how you were struggling, like the struggles, the insecurities. Why do you think you had those? What type of insecurities you had, and how did you overcome that?
I mean, on a very surface, frank level, like I didn't look as good. I I felt like I liked the way I look with a beard, and I
Uh huh.
just didn't like the way I looked. And I really enjoy being myself. I enjoy like going into places and like that's a fun thing I work hard like at like being able to do that and to have like it all change. It was
Scott's talking to you real quick.
oh, okay. I don't have the YouTube chat up, so you have to
Oh, it
share
just
it.
says, "Hey, honey." I was just
Hey,
joking. He was
hi.
talking to his wife.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Hi. You threw me off. What was I talking about?
Sorry about your struggles, about your insecurities about growing a beard.
Yeah. Well, I just didn't like. Okay, so we all go through that. Like, guys, probably me more. I'm a little more sensitive probably than most, but not by much. If we really admit it, most of us are. I think pretty self conscious, very
Oh,
concerned
100%.
with how others think perceive us. And that whole journey with Dan kind of empowered me to. I thought I was good. I thought I was like, yeah, I'm ready. I can handle this, and I did. I ended up handling it, but it wasn't. It was still a gut check to have basically everyone in your life be like, oh, I my mom thought I looked better without the beard. She still does. But everybody else kind of was just, oh, okay. Why?
No. I know so I grew a beard for a play for my son called Oliver, and I played Bill Sykes, and that's when I started growing a beard, and I loved my beard. And then we auditioned to do another one in Park City called Adam's Family, and they ended up having me cast as Lurch, and they made me shave, and they made me like put makeup on and all this kind of stuff. And you saw my license, right?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's what happens. Like, talk about insecurity about shaving and looking like that. I'm like, no, never again. Never
What
going to shave.
did you enjoy it? Like it's a journey though, right? Like it was a journey that you kind of just go in. That's what like that keeps you young, right?
Yeah,
Pushing yourself a little bit.
yeah, it was definitely insecure. I was really grateful once I was able to grow one after the play was done and all that kind of stuff. But and
Yeah,
it
you
came
always have
in.
you worry that it's gonna come back or like is it gonna come back gray or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like we have those insecurities. There's no two ways about it. When you got it, you got it. When you don't, you might, but you don't
Yeah,
have it.
when I saw my double chin, I'm like, oh no,
And
it's
I,
still
and
there.
so basically, like we knew in February that we are gonna do that, like this idea, right?
Uh huh.
I started working out every day and have since that moment because I knew I wasn't gonna get hit with it was gonna be bad, but I wasn't gonna like have extra weight. And like that was one of the things that was the bundle of why to step up the exercise to every day. But it was a big one. Like I thought I had time.
So Russ wants to know what was Mare's nickname. Love Muffin. No, it was called Snuggle Muffin.
Snuggle muffin. That lady Liz. forever. I
Hey, what's
would.
up, Marvin? It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. So, yeah, Logan says, "Oh man, I feel that on a personal level right now, Steve, because he's on week 3 right now of growth."
Yeah, it doesn't come back as fast as you wish. It is like he's done had that great success on TikTok,
Yeah, I
and
think he
the
has like
next like
26, 27 million
and then
views.
being on camera is hard. Uh, like showing up to a beard advice show with Dan and like all those things are moments that make you stronger, but they're not pleasant.
No, not even remotely. Um, it's not that your beard defines you. It's just that I feel like you have a lot more confidence when you have a beard and when you're used to like it's your face.
Right. I just think I look better, and that's where it starts.
So yeah, why do you love having a beard then? What does the having a beard mean to you?
Um, eh, for me, it's very symbolic of kind of a turning point in my life where I like stepped off the I want to be a school administrator path, or I'm going to be
Okay.
and started getting on camera again and looking at myself in the mirror, like taking care of my, which is a process that leads to taking better care of yourself, because the better you feel you look on camera, the better the less you worry about it, and the more you can be yourself and be confident and have a good time and be there for your viewers and subscribers. So it's all cyclical. So the beard is a tipping point in my life, for good, and it brings challenges too. But I wouldn't go back. It has been the greatest like kind of random thing I've ever tried.
Right? Yeah, I would agree with everything you just said. That's when I decided to start a company, all that kind of stuff, just because how much I love beards and all that kind of stuff. So I agree with you completely. So kind of a turning point. So you're growing your beard out the first time. You and Dan are playing Pokemon Go, all that kind of stuff. You're getting to
Well,
know
yeah,
him.
not at the same time. This is He stopped playing for a while. Like we had some distance. I would send him photos of all the Pokemon I was catching, and he would just not. He would be nice about it to a point. But
But and
so
now he
that
just
was
collects
later.
them.
I had to like go. I had to meet him in the beard world. I had to go to
Oh.
him.
So how did he ask you to be a part of the channel? How did the whole content creation and the content or the how did that all happen?
He did. I asked him. I wrote up a proposal.
Oh.
I was basically I knew I saw. I
Did you request did he request one? Like you said, I want to be this, or did you just come to him naturally
I don't
without
think on
even
that
talking
first
to
one.
him?
I think I just sent it to him.
Oh wow.
Like I said, we were pretty close. We are very close friends. Like we talk every day. So good and bad. Like when things go bad, I tell Dan and my wife. Usually. Um, but so what was I? Okay, so what was it you were asking me? I'm sorry, I forget.
So how you became a content like you sent him
Oh
the
yeah,
resume,
I wrote up a little
basically a
Google
business
Doc and I said,
proposal.
let's do a summer. 40-year-old dude has never grown a beard. He's gonna grow one, and let's do a live stream once a week on Wednesdays. I know you got kids, Dan. I know you're coaching. I know you're teaching. I know that you're very busy, but let's hang out. Like, let's do it. And so we had another buddy that did it once or twice with us. And then it was just the two of us. And I just started oh my gosh, slowly working on camera presence and all those things. And then it stopped. Like the school year started and Dan was just too busy. And we took some time off,
Mhm.
kind of, but I hung in there with the beard. I kept talking to him and listening. And I think kind of just stayed interested, and I just knew what he was doing. Like he just works so hard, and he has such a good approach, and he's so intelligent about um, strategy and all that stuff that I wanted to be involved anyway. And eventually we got back. We started Majorly Bearded. It was him and I on Wednesday nights. We taught. It was just like a hangout.
I
It was
remember that.
early years, and then that turned into Beard Advice.
Yeah. I remember the first episode of Beer Advice, matter of fact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And now it's evolved into that. So what type did you have to do another business proposal for Sunday? How did that evolve? Because their Sunday show is now a show every Sunday, like no matter what. So how did that evolve?
It was like I think it was around Thanksgiving. Last it was last Thanksgiving. I get like a message from Dan's like, me and Sam are talking, and we want you to do a live we want to do a daily live on the channel. Every Da, 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 da. Here's the idea. And then he just kind of gave it to me, and what would you do with it? What would it be different? How would it work? And we wanted it to extend the community to like, so Beyond Bearded was a great name for it.
Yeah,
We wanted it to
absolutely.
just kind of be a community hang, another chance to hang out on the channel, a chance to just learn new things, and to and to put to like Copper Johns to share other products from the beer companies, just to have them talk about them, build those relationships for me with you guys that have developed, and get to experience, most of all for me, to just get experience on camera, because that solo live
This is
is
different.
that is real. That is a big, that is one of the, if if I were to think about it, and just to think about walking into doing it, trying to do it successfully, that's a big jump. It's a huge jump.
Yeah, no, you've come a long way from your first time until now. So, what are some of the biggest things you've learned as a content creator from doing all this?
One of the big things is when I put my show together, about I'm gonna do a better show if I just sit and do it all. It takes about it would take me like 7 hours. It was taking a ton of time. I've got it down to less time, but I need to do it in one concrete like piece. Like there's segments, like I have like the real, like I have certain parts of it that I'll do, and it's a, I need to just hit each one as I go through sequentially, so it makes the show connect and the questions are better. So that process has been crazy. When am I gonna, finding time to put the show together? I work, it's basically all Saturdays. I
Yeah.
If I were to step back and think about it, um I work I work all the time. But that's what we're doing right now. That's where we're going. Like that's, oh my gosh, what a blessing to have that work and to have things. And like I had something come today and I almost just turned it down for time. There's a lot of pressure between my jobs in a way. Like, so I don't know, but it's wonderful, and most of it is just good practice. I stepped out. One of my deals is with outside the beer company community. Do you know that?
I didn't.
The hair company V76 on Instagram. I do some like little reels for them,
Oh,
some
way cool.
videos. Kind of a cool experience.
So, do you enjoy doing those? The minute reels, the short clips.
I do. I've started doing those a little bit more in the Facebook group too.
I saw your hands
It's just
one.
like a little, it's kind of like a radio jingle of the modern day, like a
Yeah,
little, you know what
I
I mean?
saw
Like
your
it's
hands one where you're washing and putting oil on and all that, and I'm like, dude, he's got something here. Like he knows what he's doing. I thought it was pretty impressive.
what is that, the Aberlite TikTok, or which one was it?
I don't know what it was. It was is you were washing your hands and then you put beard oil in your hands, rubbed it in. And you were talking about being a man and all
Oh
that
yeah,
kind
the
of
hands
stuff.
of a beard man. Yeah, that was. I thought that was for you. No, I think that like there's a few of them like that that just, it's one of the things that's real, right? Like our hands
Yeah.
are better because we have all those products all the time,
No,
like
I
all those
really,
beard
really liked
products.
it. I thought that was such a clever, manly, and just it was to the point. I really like that.
I have a
Um,
ton of like, I could do that, Tyson. I could just do that all day and just try those. I love it. But the thing is, you have to be able to do that from a place of security, which is what my teaching career has been. I love,
yeah,
I'm very fortunate for that. But if I was trying to be creative and pay the bills with it, totally
yeah.
different stress. I don't even know if you can relax enough to enjoy it.
No, I
Like,
can
and if you
understand
don't
that
enjoy
completely.
it, you limit it.
Hmm. So, what do you still want to learn? So this is what you've learned this past year. What else do you think you need to learn or want to learn?
Um,
And if
in
anyone
terms of just,
we haven't had anyone talk in the chat first. Everyone's just really, really enjoying and they're just listening. But if
okay,
anyone has any questions for Steve or myself, just let me know. And it's okay to call you Steve, right? Or should I call you Mayor? I
please call
apologize.
me Steve. You can call me Rutabaga. I don't care. Like, I really never. I hope I don't ever put that I would ever. Yeah, whatever. You can call me my brother's names. I don't know. What do I have to learn? A lot. Basically, what I look at right now as far as on the horizon for me is that transition. What, that wrapping up the teaching career. I don't know if it's 3 years out. That's when my pension, like I'm fully vested, I can start collecting a pension. Um, or what's gonna happen. But as I look towards that, um, I need to continue to work on my independent motivation, like being able to sit down, organize, and get things done on my own. Dan's a killer at that. I'm much better at it because I've had to be in order to keep out all those plates spinning. But there's room more for improvement. I need to probably diversify. I've kind of stepped back from Instagram a bit and post. I just kind of I really enjoyed it. Like I grew my it really grew this summer for me. I really focused on it, really had fun with it. But I think you can get all in on too much. You can too all in on a lot of things. So
I agree with that. I 100%. What's funny is I think you and Dan talked to me about that when it was just us three, just sitting on the couch there, just talking about how, maybe too many sayings, too much this. And you're just like, yeah, I see what you're saying. So, yeah, I understand where you're coming from with that.
I think another area is just like getting more in touch with the analytics. Dan will, he's very like shelters me on certain things, but there's times we have real conversations about like, hey, dude, like 3 people unsub during your live or something like that. What, how, like it maybe it's random, but if it wasn't, where was it? And it really comes down. I spent. It's like if you're like as you're leading up to like the live stream, if I'm calling that the toughest thing out of the content week for me is probably that 1 hour live or 1.5 hour, whatever. It's about a 1 hour live. Um, as I face that, like the it's the prep versus the energy, and Dan's always like it's really about truly vibe. Like you
Yeah.
have to be relaxed. You can't be dealing with crap that day as much. You have to protect your mood because it just you don't have the mood. It's no fun for anybody. They feel it.
No, they
And
they
there's
can
been
feel it.
shows that I've had that where like he'll be like, dude, what are you sick or what's going on? So that's reality. Like those are hard conversations, but Dan has made me so much better because of that. And he's
Mhm.
very like, I know he painstakingly chooses where he redirects and stuff like that.
No,
And
I
I've got
totally.
like the proof is in the pudding.
No, yeah, your show has gotten significantly. It was always good. Don't get me wrong, but it's gotten a lot better.
It was yeah, no, we're always trying to improve, and
Yeah,
and
if you're not
innovate a
trying to
little bit.
prove, you're not trying to, do like you said. In 3 years from now, you want to be doing this full time, so got to improve.
And I'll tell you that it just to to try and it's better off just to follow up every opportunity than to even try and fathom what's next as from what I've seen so far. Follow up every opportunity. Hey, Steven, but follow up every opportunity. Don't let anything go without taking a look at it. But don't even try to like think about what's going to happen, going to happen. Just keep moving. I mean, the channels continue to grow. That's no joke. It's not from being lazy. It's from continued hard work and just
Hmm.
trying new things and getting a little bit here, getting a little bit there, doing crazy things that, like shaving in this, trying to, if that brings a small branch into the channel, that's great. It's
Well,
taken
there's
a
so many
while.
people who want to know, like, hey, I want to like new beardsmen that want to know, hey, I'm starting to grow my beard. What do I do? How do I take? Do I need supplements? Do I need oil? Do I need butter? Like, what do I do? And I thought that was just perfect.
Yeah.
It was just shocking. That's all.
Oh, but that's like, I think Dan and I see one of our big responsibilities as continuing to bring and grow this community and
Hmm.
to attract uh new members and and grow it. It's it's that's it's part of that's what we do. It's good for everybody
Yep.
and 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 truly makes people happy. Like Dan and I both, him more than I, but the appreciation, the emails, the messages that we'll just out of the blue get lately, the thank yous on like some of the messages on the beard advice, it is it's almost like I feel guilty that this can be so fulfilling because it can be financially rewarding. It is such a creative outlet for me. I get to hang out with my best friend and um people are thankful for it and grateful.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I
And
don't
you're just being yourself and just working.
And that was tough too. Being my like just being yourself is a point that a lot of people never get to on camera or in any of this. Like that's a that's a big moment. I think for me it was like when we were on a live and I was kind of like I think we were talking about take shower and I'm like, dude, I don't take shower. I take baths and I just kind of like open up with that and it's kind of weird. Like there's nothing wrong with it. It's who I am, but I didn't want like
Just
old
weird.
me wouldn't have said that. It's kind of weird.
No, like I told you when we were in Yellowstone, we were driving Yellowstone. I'm like, Steve, I didn't know you were funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
A little bit funny.
yeah,
You should
no,
be in my
you're
class. Like I
dude.
feel
If
like
everyone has a moment just to sit and talk with Steve, he is the funniest person in the world. Oh man, you had me dying.
I have a good like I'm in a point in my life. I have a great time and I feel like I try to just bring that everywhere I go. That's why I still like being in the classroom with kids. They need it. Um we have a like I love that part of school.
So Logan asked, "What's one piece of advice you'd give me in the early stages of my regrow journey?"
Just don't look in the mirror so much and just okay. So it took me like just in that in your head, just tell yourself you'll like this was like 3 months. Like you'll be back, you'll get back. That person is still there. There's no problem. Don't sweat it. Enjoy the ride because you know where you're headed back. You know, like something like that. Just have that. Don't worry because there's times when you're like, you know, like you wake up and you feel your face and you're like, oh gosh,
Yeah, he says he does this all the time
right.
when he's about to eat. He'll hurry and do that.
I did a
And
TikTok with a rote memory of like of all the things you do
I
without the
remember
doing it
that.
right after a shave. It was weird.
Yeah, just make sure you wash your beard because the tears, the salt from the tears as you're crying because you miss it will, mess up your. I'm just joking. Chris
It's
goes,
not even funny.
yeah,
It's not even funny. Like that's what I'll say. It's not it's not laughing matter when you really care. It's pain a little bit.
no,
Not bad,
that's
but
why I wanted to bring up week 2 because I'm like, it generally you could tell that you hated it.
yeah, I did hate it. Like I was crying basically.
Yeah. So Tyson, the mayor needs to learn how to be humble like me. I mean, sheesh, the ego on this guy.
I don't know. Did I say something?
No, not at all. It was a joke.
He's
He
being
was just saying how
sarcastic.
humble you are.
Ah, I don't know. I'm not that humble. Something you just got to catch me in the right time.
Um,
Medium.
we call it schmedium.
Medium.
All right. So, what's something you've been thinking about lately?
Um,
It doesn't have to be beard related. I'm just, these are some
I
questions now
how
that.
I feel like lately I think about like it's really kind of like it's really happening and it's scary in a way like all the success, the challenges that come with that. Like right now tonight I'm doing this. My wife took the boys to my niece my sister-in-law's band concert. Like that stuff that stuff wears on the marriage sometimes like so that can be tough. The things that are said, the things that aren't said, like the time, like I spend a ton of time in my own head. Like I talk to my, obviously in the family room with my kids, and I'm just talking to myself, like out loud. So I have drawn in quite a bit lately, and I wonder why. Like I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I am with you on that. Ever since starting a company, I told my wife I've gotten a lot more serious and I hate it. But it's just because there's so much stuff on your mind and you're trying to focus and make sure that you're prioritizing everything because you do need to spend time with your family. You do need to spend time with your kids and your wife and give them individual time as well. And so it wears on you. I hear what you're saying. So Logan goes, I legit had a panic attack a few days ago that my beard is gone and it'll take me such a long time to get my length back. He
Yeah,
shaved off 9 inches.
uh, it it is like I said, it's there. It's just gonna take some time and lesson learned as far as like
Right?
yeah, but again, when you I feel like having done that recently, you can do it. And that's true. I every like honestly, since I started doing all this stuff, if Dan like he's gonna throw I never wanted to do a live on YouTube. Like that was not a goal. There was a good amount of time where I figured I was going to like maybe help Dan on a business end of things, maybe help set up stuff behind the scenes, set schedule or some way like that. and then he throws this idea out, and I didn't hesitate. If he's throwing it out, like, because he's the kind of guy who's not gonna say it unless he can see it, right? And if he could see it, then I needed to be able to see it too. And it was tough in the beginning. The other thing that another big in that bundle of just really getting serious about exercise was the the gas tank was empty.
Mhm.
Between 40 hours of teaching, teaching kids that have full-time travel sports or swimming or whatever, church, and this job and the lives 2 nights a week and the preparation for Sunday and the all those things. They're uh like your relationships sometimes suffer too, to be honest.
Oh, they do, 100%. If Candace wasn't working with me in the lab, I would never see her.
Yeah, yeah.
Dead serious. Like, yeah, I really believe her working in the lab, and I mean, she does most of the oils while I do everything else. And don't get me wrong, that's a lot of work, and I'm grateful for it. But if she wasn't in here with me, I would never see her. And that's why I miss my kids. And some days, like Saturday nights, I'm like, nope, we're done at 11 o'clock because that's when the post office closes. I'm done at 11. I'm giving the rest of the day to my kids and my wife, and so it's just something that I do.
So you get home from work and you usually have what, 50 like orders that you have to fill most days, or when
Uh
does,
huh.
like, do you do that daily or how does that
Yep.
work?
No, I usually literally I'll get home 4:30, 5 o'clock. I will be with the family, all that kind of stuff till 5:30. I'll come to the lab. I'll fulfill all the orders I have, make what I need to. Then keep doing that. Then around 9:30, 10 o'clock, usually my high school kids will come home and they'll ask me to do their math, all that kind of stuff. I'll help them about an hour. They'll come back to the
10:30?
lab and sorry.
At 10:30?
Yeah, I'm a horrible dad.
Wow.
No, they're working. So, like, I have a daughter who works at Kohl's until 9,
Okay.
and so she'll
Fair
come
enough.
home, and then she's got to do homework and all that kind of stuff, and so I'll help her, and then I'll come back down around 10 o'clock, and I usually won't come up to go to bed until like 1 or 2,
You're not
and
getting
then
enough
I get up
sleep.
at 5 and do it all over again.
That's not enough sleep.
No, that's why I always have like the tired eyes.
Well, you can Photoshop those out,
I know, right?
right? I
But do
bet.
you ever? I wasn't going to ask this question, but didn't even come to my mind until now. Do you ever feel like you're a commodity? Like you are? People look at you as a business rather than a person.
Ah, I had a taste of, I guess, not. I've never really considered it like that. Maybe that's like it's not that far away, but I did have a taste that it was interesting. Like I did some TikToks for Aberlight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're used to creating your own content, and then if you don't like it, you can take it off the next day or whatever. And you can't do that. It's your, like, you're just the image
Yeah,
of
it's their
you know
content. It's
the
not
same
yours.
thing with the hair company stuff that I did on Instagram. Is like I did this reel, I did this thing, I did, it was good. I have no idea if they're ever going to use it or not. I don't know when. It could be whatever. So having giving that license
Thanks, Chris.
to your face, like it's not you but it is you, that's a commodity. I guess that's kind of relatable to that.
Yeah, no, I just because it seems like you and Dan are starting to grow into like Dan's a legitimate business. It
Oh,
is,
sure, yeah.
and so as you are growing with him, just do you see your guys's business and your business plan as you actually becoming the product and people are treating you as such rather than just a person? Because I've noticed that with me with some people where they treat me as differently, and sometimes not in a good way, sometimes fine. But I was just wondering if that's how you get it too, rather than hey, you're a piece of crap and all this kind of stuff. Or I get a lot of I don't get a ton of stuff, but just every now and then it's like, whoa, dude, I'm a person, man.
Yeah, it's rare. Dan gets it a ton. He's just has so many people. He has such a big reach that people will hit him up a bunch, and he's getting to a tipping point on that. So as far as, because he's, one of his big things is the personal touch. So,
He's really,
that's
yeah, he's responsive.
right. So Dan does get that a bunch lately. He stepped out of classroom and he's just been hustling and working. Uh, you know, I know he's just busy as can be and doing well. Yeah, things are growing a pretty steady rate. we've had some things that we thought were going to go big that don't look like that anymore. We had some things that just rough spots that maybe someday we'll talk about. Like lately, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
But
And don't overshare. I mean, if I'm asking
no,
too
I
many
no, I'm just
personal
saying
or
like
something.
challenges, just challenges. Uh,
But is that
never,
us?
never.
Is that us trying to? We need to create boundaries so that we have that, or with me, I want to have really good customer service. I want my customers are my friends, and vice versa. Like I want that personal touch, but sometimes is that should that not happen? Should we not create that? Should there be more of a boundary, realizing that this is a business, this is me. You can talk to me this way. You know what I mean? I don't
Well,
know.
for example, like when you do content creation, you don't promise numbers on sales. You don't
No,
you
never.
can't because it is a bigger picture than that. And sometimes it is about just getting the name out there. It's there's value when things stay up on YouTube. It grows. Things done well can grow. So yeah, definitely. Like one thing I've learned is that you don't promise numbers. You don't you don't, and then you're respectful of the owners as far as you can throw ideas out, but ultimately it's their dime, and you do what
Hmm.
if it's all possible, you customer service, just like you said.
Yeah. I've always wondered about on the creator side how that works. I try to create some reels and stuff like that, but like Logan said, I found Logan right here through TikTok and found out that he's from Utah, and literally him and I became like best friends. It's weird but true. Like I've never been like that with.
There's a hustler mentality. Anybody in social media, anybody who's been doing like the small business, and you love Tyson, you love social, you love it.
Oh no,
It's so
I just
fun.
don't have as much time as I want to, so
Right,
I'm
but
so
like
he's doing it. But oh yeah, I
you're
love it. It's so
into
much
it,
fun.
right? You're
Mhm.
into it, and if you're into it, then you're gonna be friends with people that are into it, and that's like when like you got to see me, Dan, J. Cruz, like walking around, just kind of like looking through things with that eye, and you have it too. You just see those moments.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It's like that like any moment I can be just kind of looking through my content lens, like all the time we're on a trip or whatever. That is like that's awesome for me. It's a joy that I never really knew I would have in my life, and it's fun.
Yeah, like this was so much fun to make. It took me 10 seconds, but I thought I had a good idea. It's the dumbest thing ever done through my phone, all that kind of stuff, but it got a lot of views, and I think it's funny to me. So that's all that matters too.
Moments, it's like we're those, how you have that great line once in a while. That's what TikTok is, capturing that great moment, that great line amongst the humdrum of normal life.
Yeah, I've hit so TikTok knows what you like, and so I have a lot of outdoors, lots of beards, and lots of dad jokes. That's pretty much, and Disney.
Uh-huh.
I like a lot of Disney, so there's a lot of Disney's in there too.
And
But I think
I don't watch any of I don't I am so busy right now that I
uh
couldn't say anything has a true like sense of who I am, because jump around all of them. I don't have one, but my wife basically communicates me through TikTok. She'll send me like things that I'm to watch and report back on.
my daughter does that to me all the time. The one that I help, that she's in high school, she sends me all this. Dad, use this sound. Dad, use this sound. And sometimes I do, and
Oh,
sometimes
that's
like
good. Like if she's picking sounds for you, that's a helper.
she
If
wanted me to use a Twilight one, and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Twilight, I could use Twilight.
No, it was like Team Jacob or Team Edward voice, and
Okay.
I'm like, no, I don't think I should. But all right, so we're hitting that time frame. So what's up, Rick? Hey guys, everyone, if I ignored you or Steve and I ignored you, wasn't done on purpose. I really have enjoyed this. It's more of a serious conversation. I wasn't expecting to have this.
I I just had things I needed to talk about, Tyson.
Yeah, we're just crying at the end of it.
But that's the pot. Like that's what I learned early-ish, is the more you're real about, like, people can tell when you're talking about things that are on your mind, and they can tell when you're just blah.
Yeah. The only reason why that was on my mind about feeling like more of a product rather than a person is because we had I was interviewed for an e-commerce class. So, for a university that they're putting on, they asked me to come and they would just interview me and ask me a bunch of questions. And one of the questions is, what is something that you didn't expect? And that was it. Was I didn't expect to be treated like a product and not a human, where people are mad because they'll ask for free product and I'll say no, and then they get mad, and or they just treat you a certain way rather than like, I just thought it was weird, or they get mad because a shipment gets lost by USPS or UPS, or and you're just like, okay, I can take care of that. We'll get it sent out, or it's late, and I'm like, I sent it out like I was supposed to. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy. And so that's why that's been on my mind, and that's why I asked you. Just like
Yeah,
some
we
of the
love
things
that
I
we
just
don't have
never
things
would
to make.
imagine.
Not actually mailing products and having to ship them. Huge. That's a huge.
Yeah,
It's a
and then
big
when you
part
do
of it.
your job and people are mad because someone else didn't do their job, it sucks.
But at this point, if Dan and I walk out of our houses, you need to look a certain way.
You
Even in our
do?
community, like so you no, that's a change. I like it. Like I don't mind it. I'm proud of it. But you know,
Yeah, you can't look sloppy.
you cannot, because like that's part of our brand is like grooming.
Mhm. No, I
So
agree with that. All right. So I skipped the rapid fire questions and just we're going straight to would you rather. So, would you rather, and everyone you can answer this too. Would you rather ride on a 3,000-mile road trip with me driving or be in a pit of snakes for an hour?
I'll do the road trip for sure. I had a good time. Uh, I mean, I didn't have to drive. Eventually, you get tired enough, you fall asleep, no matter who's driving.
Hey, we made good time. That's all you got to say.
That was crazy. That morning drive was wild too. That was a lot. Like, why is everything so far there? Everything is
Yeah.
so far, like
I
real, like bad dream far.
I was I was surprised you stayed up. I was like, dude, just go. I had a playlist. I was ready to listen, all this kind of stuff, and you were just up talking. I thought it was really nice of you, but I thought it was like, dude, you can go to
You're
sleep, man.
were you annoyed by me?
Not at all.
Okay.
I felt bad for you,
Uh, I'm
but it
I'm
wasn't that
dad.
bad.
I'm
We had
dad.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I'll take the drive. I do not care for snakes.
So, would you want to do whitewater rafting again?
Sure. Look, I wore
Dude,
my shirt.
dude, it was so fun. Oh yeah. I absolutely just had a blast, dude. I
Yeah,
forgot how much fun that
it
was.
went fast. That's what
Right?
I. That's the thing. That's the one of the biggest takeaways is it was a blink.
Yeah, he's gonna go to Vegas. We're gonna go to Vegas soon. No, it it was 3.5 hours and it just went just like that.
Yeah, you very good.
And she almost killed us too. And my son wouldn't stop staring at her.
Right. Okay.
I'm like,
It's
Isaac,
okay.
eyes up here.
There's a lot of things going on these days. You can't keep track of everything.
Yeah, Brian goes, fun stuff goes so quickly. All right. Would you rather have to streak in front of 1,000 people or have to take a hit from Mike Tyson in his prime in order for your team to win the Super Bowl? So you're
I
a
mean,
Detroit Lions fan, right?
yeah, no, I'm going naked, man. I've been working out. I'm just gonna go naked. I'm not perfect, but people aren't gonna hate me either. So,
I'm going
hey,
naked. I'm taking care of myself.
I
Yeah,
I
Mike
mean,
would
it
knock
wouldn't
you
be
out in his
easy. I wouldn't
prime.
love it, but yeah.
Have you ever? Okay, so back in the day, there was a show that they took. It was on Discovery. Guys, remind me who it is if you guys know. But it took two warriors, and it was like a ninja versus a gladiator, and they would put them together, and they would say, "Okay, back in the day, this is what they used. This is the tool they used. This is how powerful they were. All that kind of stuff." And then they got one of them was a UFC fighter, MMA fighter versus a pro wrestler or
And they
something. I
would do
can't
the
remember what it was.
science on who would win, like
Yeah, they
basically.
did all the science, and so they just brought in Chuck Lesnar back in the day, if you remember who he is with and he punched, and his like poundage per square inch was like 998 pounds or something like that. It was obscene from a normal person, and I just wonder what Mike Tyson was.
Oh, yeah. Mike Tyson, like like my bowels would probably release just from my head. Like
Yeah,
it would just be like that. It's embarrassing, but true.
let my team lose the Super Bowl. Ellie would streak.
That's the way to do it.
Question is really if you want to be embarrassed or die. All right, next question. Would you rather give up all drinks except for water or give up eating anything that was cooked in the oven?
Can I grill?
Yeah, just anything but
Uh,
the oven.
I love pop soda. I love pop
So do
soda.
I. You know that.
Um,
But no meatloaf, no, just
yeah. What
whatever.
else is that? Like roasts and stuff? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
skip that. I give up the oven. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll grill.
And you can
Skillet,
always smoke too and all that kind of stuff.
panini press. I'll be fine.
Right.
But I like drinks too much.
All right. Now we never, I wanted to talk to you about this, but and do not share if you're not supposed to share because I don't know any information. But right here it says, would you rather have a successful podcast or a successful, now instead of TikTok, let's say YouTube channel? Um, but I would think you guys would be way cool into doing podcasts now that he's going, full time. Is that something in the works? Or is
You
that
mean like
some?
kind of basically like a daily live or something like that?
Yeah, have you ever seen like Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I would definitely I would choose the podcast. I think that has more legs. I think there's more meat on that bone right there by far. TikTok relationship wise, think about your connection to Dan C. Bearded versus your favorite TikTok person.
Yeah.
It's putting the time in and getting to know and then actually helping people, like that's all where that relationship builds. And I think that's where you grow the most. I think it lends itself to my personality. TikTok isn't like, even I did like 30 in 30 days for Aberlight, but the deal was I'm gonna do like pretty much like tips and things like that. Going from what we do with kind of a how-to niche on YouTube and switching into that silly kind of TikTok vibe and getting it done effectively is almost impossible, to bounce back and forth. But TikTok has broadened, and there's a spot for like the help and stuff, but they didn't take off yet. So it is like switching codes between every social is not simple.
No, everything has its own purpose too. I love YouTube more than anything because it's like if my truck breaks down, which it does all the time because it's the 1990 F-250. Like, how am I going to fix it? I'll go and I'll YouTube it and say how to fix da 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 da, and there'll be like 20 videos on how to fix my truck, and
Yeah.
you can't get that anywhere else.
No, it's where we go now, and how cool to be part of. If just a little piece of when people think beard, where they're gonna go is gonna be tied into Dan and I. That's the established. That's the goal.
Yeah. So I wasn't going to ask this question. We're done. Last question, but I keep thinking of stuff. You as a teacher, have you noticed a difference in students as of late because of TikTok? Meaning, do you feel like you have to get their attention all the time, or are you able to sustain their attention through a lecture?
Well, they have bigger issues than that right now.
Oh, really?
There's still big gaps from COVID. I'm teaching my son's grade right now. He's in 8th grade, and I'm teaching 8th grade, and they have some emotional gaps that are the biggest thing that I want to get past. As far like I am, I I'll be, I am the
Is
teacher
this
that's
Steve
gonna.
talking, or is this like universal knowledge?
This is me talking.
Okay.
It's me for 20 years of teaching experience and a
No, no,
parent at
that's
the
what I
same
mean
time.
though. It's just like I both are credible.
Just me from what I've observed. I've taught middle school for 20 years. I know this age group, and I have a kid. My son missed the transition from elementary to junior to middle school,
Oh,
and the group of kids did as well. And I do believe the biggest thing we need to do is got to get them like kind of close to appropriate, like socially. So that's
I see
big.
that with my son. I see that.
And then socials are huge. Like, yeah, they are. There's always going to be a challenge to a generation. Um, but I can't. I have a hard time ever like. I think parents need to really watch them, but to deny them is silly, and it's almost this, slowing down your kid's ability to meet, just to be a
Be
part
able to
of community because
progress.
it's how you do things now.
Hmm. No, that's awesome. So everyone, if you have any more questions for the mayor, please do so. But we're pretty much done. Steve, you've been awesome. Thanks for giving us the time and everything like that. It means a lot. Again, everyone, feel free to use the DanC15. That's Steve and Dan's code for anything that on the website that you want to save 15% on. Yeah, Steve, do you have anything else you guys want to hurry and talk about, or anything you want to announce?
I'd love this week we're doing Beyond Bearders at 9 o'clock on Sunday on Dancy Bearded channel, beef jerky show. So we're talking beef jerky a little bit. We're gonna break that down,
Thanks,
all the
man.
things beef jerky, I guess.
Nice. You guys love your beef jerky.
We do.
Did you get the really hot one that Cruz almost died on?
I mean, we were, to be honest,
Scorcho or whatever it's called?
we're past that phase of our adventure, the hot painfulness.
Yeah.
The mayor don't play that.
No,
not anymore.
I never have. I never would. It's not worth it to me. Start shipping to Norway. I do it all the time, man. I actually have quite a few people who buy from Norway.
Cool.
So, well, awesome, Steve. Everyone, thank you for attending, and really appreciate you guys. And we're going to be doing a little bit more of these just because I miss talking to you all. It really does. I do miss it. That's kind of why we're doing this, and I miss talking to Steve. So that's kind of why I want to do this.
We can fall right in. We fell right into our rhythm. It's like we're just like you just dropped me off at the airport.
Right, dude. We had a lot of fun conversations. I was just so freaking tired at night. I don't know what my deal was when we were there. It's like, I don't have to work. I just
you had worked. You'd planned a long time to get there. You're busy. You're hosting. You're trying to pay attention. You pay attention to people's emotions, Tyson. You check in, and all that means that you are exhausted by the end. So don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah, I do care. I care sometimes too much. I appreciate it, Ellie. It really does mean a lot. And he texts me all the time. He's a stud. So. But Steve, if you guys ever have any questions, like he said, he's very, very open and willing to communicate. He does teach full time, so please reach out to him, but just be patient if he can't answer because he is working and teaching your youth. So, all right, guys, you have a wonderful night, and yeah, appreciate you, Steve.
My pleasure.
All right, see you.